Welcome to today's physics class. So today we will be looking into the concept of acceleration due to gravity. So the last class we studied about acceleration as the rate of change in velocity. So velocity divided by change in velocity divided by time, that was your acceleration. Your acceleration due to gravity is no longer different. Again, the rate of change of or the rate of change in velocity due to the force of gravity. Okay, so the rate of change in your velocity because of the force of gravity, you call it as the acceleration due to gravity, because whenever the velocity is getting changed, whether it is increasing or decreasing, it affects, it affects your acceleration. So if velocity is increasing, you learn that acceleration is going to be positive, and if velocity is decreasing, the acceleration is going to be negative or is getting retarded. So here acceleration due to gravity. So again the concept is the same, but force of gravity. So what is this force of gravity? So because of this reason, your velocity is now increasing. Okay, and you need to know what is this force of gravity. So think that, so if this is your earth and if this is a body, so earth and the body. So there is a property of attraction, we call it as the gravitational attraction, by which earth attracts all the bodies towards its center. Okay, so the earth, it attracts all the bodies towards its center. So because of this, okay, and you call that force as the force of gravity. Okay, so consider like that, there is a force of gravity which attracts this particular body towards the earth. Now as this body comes down, okay, its velocity increases. So as the body is falling down, okay, its velocity starts to increase, and that increase in velocity or that change in velocity, okay, in a particular time, you call it as the acceleration due to gravity, and it is represented by the letter G. Bodies, they are getting attracted towards the earth, so you call it as the force of gravity. The force by which a particular body is attracted towards the earth, you call it as the force of gravity. So if this is your body and if this is your earth, if an apple, okay, is falling from a tree, it is going to come onto the earth's surface, right? And it is not going up. So again, the reason is the force of gravity, because the apple is getting attracted towards the earth. In a similar way, this body also tries to attract the earth, but earth being heavier, we can't, or this particular body, its force is weak. The force of attraction which it is, by which it is trying to get the earth towards it, okay, it is becoming very weak. So both these bodies, they exert force on each other, but earth being heavier, this particular body or the apple from a tree, it is getting attracted towards the earth. So that is your force of gravity. So some kind of attractive force. So again, how it is going to, okay, impact our acceleration due to gravity. So when a body is falling down, okay, so when a body is falling down, its velocity increases. Okay, so it will be v1. So after some time it will be v2. After some time again it will be v3. So if I take v1 at t1, v2 velocity at t2, and v3 velocity at t3. So if you look at this, its velocity v3 will be greater compared to v2 and compared to v1 as time changes. Now if there is an increase in velocity, I can say that it is getting accelerated, and this acceleration produced on this particular body because of the force of gravity, you call it as the acceleration due to gravity. Another statement which has been given for you, as per your textbook, when a body falls freely under gravity, the acceleration produced in that particular body due to the Earth's gravitational attraction. So the same will be your force of gravity. So the acceleration because of the Earth's gravitational attraction, you call it as the acceleration due to gravity G. And its value, it is found to be equal to, G is equal to 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. So again, for our mathematical simplifications, you can also take it as equal to. If you approximate it, it will be equal to 10 meter second raised to minus 2. So in the exams, in the question paper, it will be given 10. If it is given 10 meter second raised to minus 2, you have to take 10, or else you have to go with 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. Okay, so that is the value of G, and this value is its average. Again, you know that, and again, this is in the case of Earth. But if you consider the value of G on Moon, it will be 9.8 divided by 6, or I can say it is 1 by 6 of the G value on Earth. Okay, so the value of acceleration due to gravity on Earth, it is found to be equal to 9.8 or 10. But in the case of Moon, it will be exactly 1 by 6, the value of 9.8. That your acceleration will be positive if the velocity is increasing, and acceleration will be negative if the velocity is getting decreased. So in the case of an object which is falling downwards, okay, or an object which is freely falling, so hereafter when I am referring an object is freely falling, it simply refers that that object is only under the effect of force of gravity, or it is getting only attracted towards the earth, and there are no other forces, not even the air resistance. So when a body moves through the air, there is a force of, okay, resistance which is caused because of the air, or a drag, I can say. Okay, so all those things are not considered here, but only its own weight. So that is a correct term. Okay, the impact of the acceleration due to gravity on the mass. So you call it as the weight. So that body is only falling under its weight now. So that is the freely falling body. So whenever a body is falling freely, it is getting dropped. So that means its initial velocity is 0. And it is said that its velocity is increasing as it falls down. So again, your acceleration, it's a vector quantity. Acceleration due to gravity is also a vector quantity. Both are the same, right? So your G will be positive. Okay, it can be positive and it can be negative. So when can I say that G is positive and when can I say that G is negative? Is equal to U plus AT. From A is equal to V minus U divided by T. I just rearrange that particular equation, and I got V is equal to U plus AT. So V minus U will be equal to A into T, or A is equal to V minus U divided by T. So if the velocity is increasing, V minus U will be positive, and time it will be positive always, right? So your A is equal to G here, which is positive. Okay, when a body is freely falling, the acceleration, it is nothing but, since it is getting attracted towards the earth, the acceleration produced on that body is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So I can equate A as equal to G. So it will be positive. Again, in case if a body is thrown upward, so again here V is equal to U plus AT. So when a body is thrown upward, your V, it will be less than U. Okay, because velocity is getting decreased. So V minus U divided by T is equal to A, which is equal to G. If V is less than U, you will get a negative value here. So your acceleration due to gravity is going to be minus G here, falling freely. So when this body is falling freely, I said that its velocity is going to increase, right? So let's check whether its velocity is actually increasing. So initially at this position, later on here, here. So it is falling down, so particular object. So at the initial point I am taking, okay, when it is getting dropped or when it is falling down, I am taking initial velocity to be 0. And again it is observed at the 0th second. Now it will gain a velocity v1, after some time v2, after some time t3, again it is getting a velocity v3 and t2 and again t1. For our easiness, I am taking t1 as equal to 1 second, t2 as equal to 2 and t3 as equal to 3rd second. So an object which is falling down, okay, initially its velocity was 0, now its velocity is becoming v1 after 1 second, its velocity is becoming v2 after the 2nd second, and its velocity is becoming v3 after the 3rd second. So if I use the equation v is equal to Okay, v is equal to u plus at. So here in the first case, okay, I'm taking the first case, it is after 1 second. So time, so the very first second. So after 1 second, the body, okay, somewhere here. So its initial velocity is equal to 0. So v is equal to 0 plus, again acceleration due to gravity, it is equal to 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. So a is here equal to plus g. Okay, since it is falling down, it will be plus g, and if it is moving up, it will be negative. So 9.8 into, again it was in the time interval 0 to 1 or after 1 second. So equal to 1. So you got v as equal to 9.8 meter second raised to minus 1. So I got the velocity after 1 second, 9.8 meter second raised to minus 1. Now let me check what will be happening to the velocity after the second second. So again using the same. So you got v1, v2 is equal to, so initially it was 0 plus 9.8 into the second second. So 9.8 into 2 is 16. So you will get 19.6 meter second raised to minus 1. So as I said, as the object is falling downwards, its velocity is increasing. So after the second second, its velocity will be equal to 19.6 meter second raised to minus 1. Again after third second, similarly you will get 0 plus 9.8 into 3. So we will be getting the answer 4 and 29.4 meter second raised to minus 1. So as the object is moving downwards, its velocity increases. Okay, and the direction of acceleration, again it is given by, okay, whether it is in the direction of velocity or not. So if the velocity is increasing, okay, so your acceleration due to gravity is in that particular direction. But in case if your velocity is getting decreased, your acceleration due to gravity, it will be negative. So v3 is equal to 29.4. Again, yesterday I told you about uniform acceleration. So I said uniformly accelerated if there are equal changes, okay, in velocity in equal interval of time. So if I consider the case here, okay, between the time interval, okay, 0 and 1, again between 0 and 1, the change in velocity. So I took initial as 0, so 9.8 minus 0, again 9.8 meter second raised to minus 1. Again from the time interval 1 to 2, okay, again the velocity will be 19.6 minus 9.8, or 9.8 into 2, that was equal to 19.6. So we will be getting v2 minus v1. Okay, that is a change in velocity. So the change in velocity, equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. So in the time interval 0 to 1 you got 9.8, in the time interval 1 to 2 you got 19.6. So the change in velocity will be, okay, I have to write 9.8 minus 0, again 19.6 minus 9.8, and in the time interval 2 to 3, then it will be 29.4 minus 19.6. So you will get a common answer, right? 9.8, 9.8, 9.8. So equal changes is happening to velocity in equal interval of time. So in every 1 second, what is the change in velocity? 9.8. So an example for uniformly accelerated motion. Okay, now when you are throwing your body upwards, okay, so think that you are throwing your body up with a speed of 49 meter second raised to minus 1. So 49 meter second raised to minus 1. So I have said that, so in the case of a body which is moving upward, its velocity starts to decrease. Okay, so since the velocity starts to decrease, the value of acceleration due to gravity will also get decreased, or the g is going to be negative. So here again if I consider the same case, so let's say this is at the 0th second. Again after some time v1, after some time v2 and v3. So this is at the first second and again the second second. So again I need to find, so after 1 second, okay, so time, I'm taking this as time, the velocity, final velocity. So after 1 second, what will be the velocity? Again use the equation v is equal to u plus at. Okay, this time v1 is equal to, but you are having a value 49, and now coming to a. When the body is thrown upwards, okay, the acceleration due to gravity, it is taken negative, it should be taken negative. So minus 9.8 into t. So that is after first second. So t is equal to 1. So you will be getting v1 as equal to 49 minus 9.8, which will be equal to 49 minus 9.8 to 9 3. So you will be getting 39.2 meter second raised to minus 1. Again after second. So instead of this 1, you only need to replace it with 2. So 9.8 into 2. So again that will give you, so 9.8 into 2 again 49 minus 19.6. So 49 minus 19.6. So 4, 9, 2. So we got 29.4. So you could see that, okay, if you take after 3 seconds, again you will get a slightly lesser value. Again that will be equal to, just minus 9.8. So 39.2 minus 9.8 is 29.4. Again 29.4 minus 9.8. That will be your answer. So 6, 9. So that will be equal to 19.6. So as you throw the body up, its velocity is getting decreased. Again, the velocity is getting decreased in a uniform rate. So the rate at which the velocity is increasing or the velocity is decreasing when it is thrown downward or upward, it is equal to 9.8 meter second raised to minus 1. Okay, so that is the rate at which the velocity is getting increased or decreased. Question: a car accelerates at a rate of 5 meter second raised to minus 2. So acceleration is given to be 5 meter second raised to minus 2. Again find the increase in its velocity in 2 seconds. So time is also given to be 2 seconds. You are asked to find the increase in velocity. That means you need to find, so it should have an initial velocity, it should have a final velocity. We don't know what it is, but you are asked to calculate the increase. That means you are asked to find v minus u. So again acceleration is given by the equation v minus u by t. So change in velocity divided by time. So v minus u, it will be equal to, v minus u will be equal to a into t. Again the units, everything is supposed to be, or it is given in SI unit system. So no need to convert it. So a is equal to 5, s is equal to 2. So 5 into 2, that will give you 10 meter second raised to minus 1. So the increase in velocity, you got it to be 10 meter second raised to minus 1. Car is moving with velocity 20 meter second raised to minus 1. Again it is said that the brakes are applied to retard it at a rate of 2 meter second raised to minus 2. What will be the velocity after 5 seconds of applying the brake? So your car, it was moving with, let's say 20, it is given 20 meter second raised to minus 1. Okay, so it was moving with this particular speed. Now so all of a sudden brakes are applied so that its speed is reduced. Okay, and it is said that applied to retard it at a rate of 2 meter second raised to minus 2. So that means your retardation or your negative acceleration, right? So a is equal to minus 2 meter second raised to minus 2. So now your car is retarded by this particular rate. You are asked to calculate the velocity after 5 seconds of applying the brake. So a direct question again. So acceleration will be equal to v minus u divided by t. Again, u is given, which is equal to 20. So u is equal to 20. Again, a is equal to minus 2. Okay, here it is said that it is retarding. So you have to take this minus sign. Here minus is very important. So you got minus 2. Again, t it is given to be 5 seconds. So if I substitute, at will be equal to v minus u, or you need to find out the final velocity. So v is equal to at plus u, or v is equal to u plus at. So a is equal to minus 2 into 5 plus u is equal to again 20. So minus 10 plus 20, that will give you 10. So your final velocity v will be equal to 10 meter second raised to minus 1. So your answer will be 10 meter second raised to minus 1. The important thing to note here is it is that retarding it at a rate of 2 meter second raised to minus 2. So take the acceleration as minus 2 meter second raised to minus 2. So your next question, a car is moving in a straight line with a speed of 18 km per hour. So this car, it is moving on a straight line. Its speed is given to be 18 km per hour. Now it is stopped in 5 seconds. Okay, now the car, it is stopped. Okay, suppose it is stopped here. Again, the time it took is given to be 5 seconds. So the car is stopped in between and the time taken is given to be 5 seconds. Calculate the speed of the car in meter second. So meter second raised to minus 1. So if you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, multiply with 5 by 18. So you'll be getting 5 meter second raised to minus 1. So the speed of the car for 18 kilometer divided by hour, that is what is given, right? So 1 kilometer, it is equal to 1000 meter divided by 1 hour, it is equal to 3600 seconds. So 5 and again 18. So again 18 will get cancelled. You got 5 meter second raised to minus 1. Now the second part of the question, you are asked to find the retardation. So you are asked to find what is the value of A. Right. So again use the equation A is equal to V minus U divided by T. So you got speed of the car. Okay, it is given moving with 18. So U, that will be equal to 5 meter per second. Why? Because it is already given in 18 kilometer per hour. Again time it is given in seconds. So it was better for me to convert, and it is already converted. So I took U as 5 meter per second, which is equal to 18 kilometer hour raised to minus 1. You need to find A. So T is given to be 5 seconds. And what about V? Okay, it is stopped in 5 seconds. That means its final velocity V will be equal to 0. So A is equal to, V is going to be 0 minus, again U, 5 divided by 5. So we will be getting the answer minus 1 meter second raised to minus 2. So again it was said that it is retarded. So if you are writing acceleration, so that will be minus 1 meter second raised to minus 2. Again, don't apply any negative here saying that it is going to be getting retarded or something like that. Okay, in the answer itself you will be getting the negative. So A is equal to minus 1 meter second raised to minus 2. So your question, the value of G remains the same at all places on Earth's surface. So is this statement true? Give a reason. So they are asking whether the value of G, so we studied it as the average value, which is equal to 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. So they are now asking you whether it will be the same on all places on Earth's surface, whether it is at poles or at the equator. Okay, at the poles and at the equator. So is it true? If it is true, give reason. If it is no, again give reason. So again the answer is it is not the same. Okay, that's why I have used the term the average value of G is given to be 9.8. So again, the reason, Earth, it is rotating and it is having a shape of an oblate spheroid. Okay, the Earth, it is supposed to have the shape, you call it as the oblate spheroid. When I say oblate spheroid, it just means that the distance from the center of Earth to this particular, okay, on the equator side, this distance r1, it is greater compared with your r2, that is the distance from center to the poles. So your r1 is greater than r2. That means the radius, it is not uniform. So how it is going to impact the value of acceleration due to gravity? So your acceleration due to gravity, it is given by the equation gm divided by r square. So this g, it's a constant. Okay. So you will learn about this in the next chapter, but still g is a constant. M is going to be the mass of the earth. Okay, not the mass of the object, but the mass of the earth. And r, the distance. So again, before explaining that, think that this is your mass m1 and this is another mass m2. Now this m1, it exerts a force, or the m1, it tries to attract m2, and again your m2, it tries to attract m1, and there exists a force between them, and that force of gravity, you take as g m1 m2 divided by r square. So again, r is the distance between their centers. So if I consider a body at the equator and at the poles, okay, what will be its acceleration due to gravity? So if a body is at the pole, by what value or how much is the acceleration produced? So think that there is a body here. So I need to know what will be the acceleration due to gravity, or by how much, or how it is going to get accelerated when it is at the poles. And again, when the same body is at the equator, how is it going to get accelerated? Will it is getting more accelerated, or it is getting least accelerated? So coming to this equation, g is equal to gm by r square. So since your r2 is greater than r1, okay, I am taking the value here gp and here ge, acceleration due to gravity at the equator and the acceleration due to gravity at the poles. So you know the equation, g is equal to gm divided by r square. So now if I substitute, gp will be equal to gm divided by, so at the poles, the distance between the center of the earth and an object at the pole, so that will be equal to r2 square. And again, if an object is at the equator, then the acceleration due to gravity, because of the force of attraction of the earth, is given by gm divided by r1 square. So the center of the earth and this particular object, so the distance is r1, so r1 square. Now if you look at this, g is a constant, m is also, m which is a mass of the earth, it's not going to change, it is also a constant. So r2, r1, it is greater than r2. So what will happen to your gp and ge relation? So if I am taking r1 as 4, let's say, and r2 as 3, so g and m constant, so I will get gp is equal to, okay, 1 divided by r2 square, 1 divided by 9, and ge as 1 divided by 16. And you know 1 by 9 is greater compared to 1 by 16, or gp is greater than ge. So what I am trying to say is that the reason behind why the acceleration due to gravity, it is more at the poles compared to that of the equator, it is because of this particular distance. So not only the here mass isn't a factor, right? The mass of this particular object, it is not a reference. So only thing that is going to matter here, it is the distance between the object. So the object which was at the equator, since it was having a larger distance, its acceleration got decreased. And since the object at the poles, it was nearer to the earth, okay, it was attracted towards the earth with a larger acceleration due to gravity. So your acceleration due to gravity is maximum at the poles and it is minimum at the equator. So taking into consideration all these values, we are finally getting an average value which is equal to 9.8. Last thing to add up, the value of g, it does not depend upon the mass of the object. That means if I am dropping a body, okay, from the top of a building, okay, so think that one of a smaller mass and another one of a larger mass. If I am dropping these two bodies down, okay, at the same time, okay, it is observed that both of these bodies, the larger one and the smaller one, they will reach the ground at the same time, though their masses are different. Though B is massive compared to A, both will reach the ground at the same time. So again, the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, again, the rate at which the velocity is increasing. Okay, both are the same. Okay, and hence the acceleration due to gravity for these two are also the same. Again, the reason is that your g is not depending on the mass of the body. Maybe this body is having mass m1 and this one m2, but m2 greater than m1. But your equation only contain an term capital letter M which stands for the mass of the earth. Mass of the earth. So this are first, so that you consider it as the earth. So only the mass of the earth is dependent. So that is the reason why two objects when dropped simultaneously from the top of a tower will reach the ground at the same time.